adapt. I'm going to tell you about some ways to adapt. I might even tell you about what you might want to adapt to if you stick around long enough. I'm Ray of Sunshine. I'm delighted that you're here with me today. You might have noticed you caught me in my robe again. Although this one's a little different than other times. I do have other videos where you caught me in my robe, and that was just a matter of, oh, here it comes, here comes the message, and I'm not ready for it, and most of the time I'm in my robe. However, this one's a little bit different. This one here, this was my robe and how it looked when I got out of the shower a little while ago. I was noticing when I was looking in the mirror this morning and admiring various aspects, I was checking out how nice and soft my skin is. And I noticed that, I think it was yesterday, I was looking at some of my older videos, some of the older Ray of Sunshine videos, because I was looking for something. I came across one where I was on an island and I was naked, and I looked, I looked just like this. I was exposed, and you don't actually see all of me naked, but you kind of get the idea that I am, because you see sort of like what you see now, with no clothes on, and I say that I'm naked, so there's no reason for you not to believe that I'm naked, and whether I'm actually naked or not doesn't really make any difference, and I'm not going to tell you anyway. But I remember when I was looking at that video, I'm saying, hey, that's not too bad looking. I mean, I wouldn't mind nibbling on that, right? And so that's what made me think of this. The reason you caught me in my robe again, is because right at that moment, as I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I said, uh-oh, here it comes. Here comes the message. We're all in this together. The background here, and in a lot of my videos, I kind of explain what's going on in the visuals for those people who can't see me, whether you're driving or whatever reason if you can't see me. So I'm going to tell you about the background here, but also why it's important. It's important for a couple of reasons. One is that it's a drastic difference from the previous video to this one. The previous video was in my vehicle outside in the freezing cold, like in the teens out there, but I was in my vehicle making the video of the day for you. That was the J6 video, and maybe I'll have that in the box on the side of my head at the end of this video. But there's reasons why you would want to go to look at one of my previous videos. There's no such thing as too much happy, so why not contribute toward it? So I have lots of ways, lots of suggestions on how you can accomplish that in all my before videos. And the biggest reason, the umbrella reason, is that you're going to see exactly what I talk. When you go look at some of those earlier rays of sunshine, it'll become apparent, it'll become clear instantly what I'm talking about when I say I'm here to illustrate a progression, because you're going to see two things. Share this video so we can all be on the same page, and discover what makes your heart dance. Discover you're happy. I was telling you about the background here. I'm in my sanctuary, okay? So I have been in my sanctuary, and I have been in this portion of my sanctuary in several of my earlier videos. And I'm going to kind of raise this nice and smooth if I can and give you a little peek up there. But, I got lots of stuff going on in here. And this is representative of what it's like around my entire studio. So back in those number one and number two videos, mostly, it's an introduction to me, and it's a tour of my sanctuary. So right now, that's still free. So you might want to go back there and check it out. While it's still free. But it'll be informative. You're going to learn a lot of things about me, and you're going to learn a lot of things about you. So there is a method to my madness, and I happen to know that you are here in search of your miracle message. That's what it's going to take for you to find your miracle message. That's what it's going to take for you to discover how you deal with discovering different, because difference here. Difference happening, and I happen to know that I have it implanted here for you. I also happen to know how to help you find it, so stick around for that. Sometimes I feel like a little scattered. I put my finger on it the other day. I was contemplating on what it is. 'What 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 I think the word I might choose could be wary. I feel wary sometimes. It could be because, I've been through so many lifetimes. It could be that this lifetime has been such a rodeo. But anyway, I decided that wary was a good way to describe it. We find a new way to focus, a new way to overcome, a way to rise up. And that's when I decided that, it's time to look at my priorities again. Because by setting priorities, I'm not spinning my wheels so much and not scattered all over the place. And the number one priority, I'm on this journey of mustering my courage to discover me, love me. That is the purpose of this whole video presentation. Learning loving me. And that J6 video has a story about that. My soulmate. That's the name of the video. And maybe I'll put that in the box on the side of my head at the end of this video, because that might be exactly where your miracle message is. Who knows? Love me is pretty much the overall umbrella energy that everything else that is desirable is an offshoot of, is the way I see it. There's lots of subcategories, and some of the subcategories that I was thinking about in that overall priority of love me is healing. And that's the process we're going through. And that's the process that I show in my whole video presentation. That's the other value of going back to some of those earlier videos. You watch me progress. You watch me heal. You watch me discover there's no such thing as too much happy. So why not contribute to it? As you watch you progress, as you heal, as you discover the uniqueness of you. The other subcategory, at first I was going to say giving, but receiving is an equal part of that process. And sometimes receiving is not so easy for some of us as giving is in some cases. So receiving and giving is a part of that subcategory of love you. As I was gazing at myself in the bathroom mirror this morning, every once in a while I would take the initiative to do a little something, comb my hair or put a little cream on, and that's about the extent of it. That's, the basics. That's what I need to face the day. So anyway, as that happened, and I went to put the brush back, a box fell out of the cabinet into the sink. And it was a box of one of those kind of medications that has pills on a card with these plastic tops, and you're going to try to get the pill out. And they've always been, I hated those things for years and years and years because, you end up having to go get scissors and clip all around, and then the pill goes flying, and there's all kinds of problems with it. And who has 20 minutes to take a pill out of a container? But this new brand that I got has a way that they just pop right out. And I don't know who came up with it, but I'm just loving this. And I realized, that's a metaphor for how we are as human beings. We figure things out. We find a better way. And so that is what I'm here to show you in my video presentation. Finding a better way. Finding a better you. Every single one, the whole array of all the rays of sunshine in all the previous videos are all the best versions of ray of sunshine. They're all very different. You mean to tell me that you don't see an evolution? Go back there. Go back to any one of those previous videos, any one of those previous rays of sunshine, especially some of those older ones, and tell me that you don't see an evolution or a revolution. And I'll tell you right now, if you're going to go back there, you're going to have to go with an open mind, because you're going to have to think way outside the box. That's what it's going to take for you to find your miracle message. That's what it's going to take for you to discover how you deal with discovering different, because difference here difference happening. Don't forget now, we all need to be on the same page. Share this video. Don't forget now. You know, I had come across an old photo album that needed some attention. Some of the pictures were falling out, and so anyway, I was looking through it, and some of those pictures, some of the drawings, some of my calligraphy is back in some of my earlier videos, and I have stories about those, lots of different stories. And one of them was a picture of a younger me, probably like 13, 14, something like that, and I had a big, I think it's still there. I think there's a little spot from it there, but a big brown freckle, right? Now, of course, I have these big brown eyes, but that's what stood out was that freckle. But the first thing I thought of when I saw that picture is chip off the old block. I don't remember, some of you might have heard the expression spittin' image. I've heard it 1.5 million times plus. Spittin' image. I was the spittin' image of my dad, right? A chip off the old block. It occurred to me that on a different level, I am not just a chip off the old block, because we're a product, we are offspring, and we adapt to the attributes of who we sprang from. So on a different level, wherever I sprang from, there was a time when I was not on this planet, and somehow my consciousness and my body came together at the moment of my birth. That became me. Where did I come from? Wherever it is that I came from, that is the spark that ignited me. That's the spark that's in me. That's the spark off the old block. The spark off the old block. And so the idea is to bring all the sunflowers together, hand in hand, on this journey. You know, I realize I repeat a lot of the same things in a lot of my videos, even though sometimes I repeat it in different ways, but I repeat it. And there's a reason for that. I repeat it until hopefully it sinks in. So you can hear me present it in a lot of different ways in many of my previous videos. Suppose, let's say you got this video from somebody who shared it with you. But suppose they couldn't be bothered. Suppose they never sent it to you. Suppose you weren't looking at me right now because they didn't care enough. They didn't send it to you. Suppose you don't send it to that one person in the world who, for some reason, for some freak reason, nobody sent it to. Nobody sent one of my videos to that one person who you also didn't send it to. You know what? We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere on this journey unless everyone who wants to come along is coming along, is on the same page. That's why it's important to share this video, to get us on the same page. It's playtime. Create you. And I actually recommend that because there's a message there for you. The reason I know that is because I put it there. There's a whole lot of different rays of sunshine showing a progression, showing an evolution, showing a dawning of a new day. And let me give you an idea of where it's heading, of the trajectory. And here's just one example about, think of like a few thousand years ago, and somebody on the opposite side of the, I'm over here on the planet, right? And somebody on the opposite side of the planet, they don't even know I exist. As far as they're concerned, it didn't even occur to them yet that the Earth might be flat, never mind round. So there was no way that anybody, there was no transportation, there was no communication, there was no way that somebody on one side of the Earth was ever going to connect with somebody on the other side of the Earth. Now, I can say, hey you, and click in a second, we're connected through thin air. That is the trajectory that we're on. So that trajectory tells you where we're heading, what's happening now. Create you. So you can see that trajectory illustrated in my entire video presentation. And you'll continue to see it illustrated as we take each other by the hand and grab all the other sunflowers on the planet, which is why it's important that you share this video with somebody so that we're all on the same page, and we all blossom. We blossom. Share this video so we can get more people off the fence. It's playtime. Create you. It's playtime. It's playtime. Create you.